Have you ever pondered about the different ways we use the word go in English? Today we're diving into the fascinating world of phrasal verbs, with a particular focus on those that include the word go. Now, what's a phrasal verb, you ask? Simply put, it's a verb combined with a preposition or an adverb, and this combination often takes on a completely different meaning than what the individual words suggest. Let's start with go on. This phrase means to continue or proceed. For instance, the presentation will go on as scheduled. It's a simple concept, yet it adds depth to the sentence. Next up, we have go off. This one has multiple meanings. It can mean to explode or ring, like the fireworks went off with a loud bang, or the alarm clock went off at 7 a.m. It can also refer to food becoming spoiled, like the milk has gone off. It smells bad. Then there's go up, which signifies an increase or rise. You might say, the cost of living has gone up significantly, or the temperature went up by several degrees. On the flip side, go down means to decrease or descend. You could say, the stock market went down yesterday, or they watched the sun go down over the horizon. Finally, we have go out. It means to leave a place, especially for social activities, or for a light or fire to stop burning. For example, they decided to go out for dinner, or the fire went out after a few hours. Phew, that's a lot of ways to use go, right? And that's just the beginning. As you can see, go isn't as straightforward as you might think when it comes to phrasal verbs. But don't worry, we'll continue exploring more phrasal verbs with go in our next scene. Stay tuned. Are ready to dive deeper into the world of phrasal verbs with go? Let's now explore some additional phrasal verbs with go. Our first stop is go over. This means to review or examine something carefully. Think of it as going over a bridge, inspecting each plank as you cross. For instance, let's go over the main points of the lesson. Moving forward, we encounter go along. This can mean to proceed or continue in a positive manner, or to accompany someone. Imagine you're on a road trip, and everything is going along smoothly. Or perhaps a friend asks, "Can I go along with you to the store?" Next up is go by. This phrase can mean to pass or elapse, particularly in reference to time. Picture time as a river, flowing by. As we often lament, the years seem to go by so quickly. Our journey continues with go for. This means to choose or like something. It's as if you're reaching out for something you desire. For example, I think I'll go for the pasta for dinner. The next stop on our tour is go through. This phrase can mean to experience or endure something, or to examine something thoroughly. It's as if you're passing through a tunnel, experiencing its darkness, or perhaps its light. For instance, she went through a difficult time after the loss of her pet, or let's go through the contract before signing. Isn't it fascinating how one little word can have so many different meanings? Just remember, when it comes to phrasal verbs, context is key. So don't be afraid to go for it and go over these phrases until you've gone through them all. Stay tuned as we go on to our final scene where we'll wrap up our exploration of phrasal verbs with go. Before we wrap up, let's cover a few more intriguing phrasal verbs with go. Go off on a tangent means to start talking about a topic unrelated to the main discussion. For instance, he tends to go off on a tangent during conversations. Then we have go against, which means to oppose or act in contradiction to something. For example, her decision goes against our company policy. Go with is used when something matches or suits something else, like the blue tie goes well with his shirt. Go after means to pursue or chase someone or something, as in, the cat went after the mouse. Go without saying is used when something is obvious or understood without needing to be mentioned. For example, it goes without saying that punctuality is important. Lastly, go by can mean to use a certain name or identity, like, he used to go by a different name when he was younger. And that's a wrap on our exploration of phrasal verbs with go. Remember, practice makes perfect when it comes to mastering these versatile expressions.